Alright, welcome to another episode of the Jankity ass podcast. Hang on, Marty. There we go. Yeah. Number 22. This one's hopefully not too short, but I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter just because, I got other shit that I have to deal with. Like I said, I'm leaving town, so next weekend is not going to be a show. I'm just... Well, maybe. It might be No, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. If there is a show, it won't be, nice like this. It'll just be done, through the phone, which, whatever, that happens. But, I don't know. I doubt it. I'm just gonna take the time off, I think, and, work on some other stuff. And speaking of other stuff, I am trying to, like I said, I did get another, hobby commission that I'm working on, at the moment, which I gotta, pound that out real quick. Anyways, so, yeah, another episode, the Punkcast podcast for the fun guys, like you and me. Mostly me. A little bookkeeping. I fucked up last weekend. I was telling you about, or maybe it was the weekend before. I don't know. Previously, I screwed up on my. I was talking about which site I use for my sound clips. It's actually premiumbeat. It's actually owned by another company as well. I think it was a shutterstock, if I remember right. But anyways, premiumbeat. You can go on. This is not an ad, but you can go on there and you can get royalty-free tracks to use for whatever you want. You just pay one time. You get the license, and there's actually two different types of licenses for every track that you get. There's the one that you can use for, just web stuff like something like this, and then there's a more expensive license, which is. So each track's like $50 or something like that, but I can use it forever, right? I just have to obviously make sure that I credit the artist, which I do. If you look in the description, scroll down, you'll see them there. But then there's also a more expensive license that you can use, or that you can get for each track, and that's so that you can use your So you can like sample it for, products or presentations, right? So like if you have like a conference and you want to make a PowerPoint or something, things like that. I don't know. It's in there. Go to premiumbeat, do your own fucking work. Anyways. Okay. So that's talked about. So yeah, the hits just keep coming this week. Since I last talked to you guys, I didn't even write this down in my notes, but I'm sure everybody's. I'm not gonna go into length at this, but I'm sure everybody's heard about the whole Kenosha Kyle thing going on. Kenosha being the city or town or whatever, and Kyle was this kid's name. So basically, this 17-year-old kid, white kid, of course. Came. So he and some other people, basically a paramilitary group in everything but name. Just a bunch of white, gun activists. They went to the city or town of Kenosha in Wisconsin, which was having their own little riot and stuff. I think this time it was over the guy who got shot a bunch in the back when he wasn't even being arrested for anything. And he was a black man too, so, of course that's gonna, start everything popping off. But, yeah, so anyways, this group decided that they were going to go to this town or city and protect the businesses or whatever, which is... first of all, that is a completely bullshit premise. You don't pack up a bunch of guns and go to another town where you weren't asked for. They didn't ask for you. They got their own police. Okay, you see them in the video that I'm about to tell you about. But so they went there. At some point, I guess this kid, Kyle, he's 17, first of all. So from what I understand, no, he was from Wisconsin. They went to Illinois. I believe it was one of the other ways around. But anyways, the point is that, yeah, that's right. The latter one's right. They were from Wisconsin. They went to Illinois. And so they crossed the state line, first of all, which transporting weapons across the state line isn't... I'm pretty sure that's illegal unless you have like a hunting license, which there's no license for hunting humans unless you're MI6 or something like that. But so that's illegal right there. He was 17, and from what I understand, in both states, the age for owning a weapon or owning and carrying a weapon is, it's greater than 17. I think like Wisconsin was 18 and Illinois was 21. Do the math. Yeah, so anyways, he goes there, and I guess at some point he gets separated and gets into a confrontation with a guy in the crowd, and I guess there's like a struggle, and he shoots and kills a man, basically. And there's a little, and of course, like anytime something like this happens, everybody just starts digging through the lives of everything involved and starts putting it out and saying like, oh, see, he's either a piece of shit or this guy's a hero or something like that. Which, I mean, none of that doesn't matter. Anyways, he kills one man who now apparently was a convicted sex offender. Or alleged. I don't remember. Well, it doesn't matter now because he's fucking dead, right? So he shoots this man, kills him, starts running, and because like the whole mob sees this. I say mob, sorry. All the group of protesters sees this happen because it is literally just in broad daylight on the street. Chasing this kid because obviously if somebody's, I mean, if you see somebody getting shot in the street over because of like it was in the middle of the protest, but anyway, so they start chasing this kid to try and I guess detain him, or because they're angry or whatever. And two more guys eventually catch up to him, and they try to take him down. One of them like hits him over the head with a skateboard. So while he's on the ground, Kyle, pops off a few shots, kills one of his quote unquote attackers, and puts a hole in another one's arm. Which I'm not sure if he lost the arm or not. I don't remember exactly what happened to him, but the second guy died later in the hospital, so he didn't die right away. And, the problem with it is, okay, so I've talked about, the individual and the communal and the concept of balance in human nature. So first of all, obviously, the immediate, what he did immediately is wrong. That's not something that you can argue. He went somewhere that he wasn't supposed to go. This kid got himself into a situation that he had no business being in. He didn't need to be there. And, ended up killing two people and severely injuring another one. Which is assault with a deadly weapon, technically. In public, right? And for whatever reason, I guess, I don't know another thing that was kind of a, okay, so I am actually getting into this story apparently, whatever, but so the kid obviously keeps running, he gets up and keeps running away to try and get away from this from all the protesters, and I guess he got far enough away where, like, all the police just, they heard the gunfire, so they go to the situation, but I guess he got far enough away that, they just drove past him, and they already knew that there was a group of people there with weapons that are supposedly protecting businesses, which is an issue in and of itself. It's one thing to protect your own property, I guess, and they weren't invited either. There was nothing. They should not have been there. First of all, if this kid, all this kid had to do was not be there, and that's two people that would still be alive today, and one who would not be looking at an amputation of his arm. Let's see. So the real problems come with how everybody sees this is happening, because on the liberal side of the spectrum, obviously this kid is, they're saying like, oh, he's a murderer, he's a little, white national fascist, yada yada, whatever, which, he's, well, I mean, he did get arrested. He is a convicted murderer. That's not a question. And whereas the rest of it is probably, rather embellished or exaggerated. He was just a kid who thought he was going to do some good work with his parents and older adults who should have known better, by the way. And he fucked up massively and, ruined a few people's lives, including his own. Now, on the other hand of the spectrum, on the conservative side, there's people who are calling him a hero. Which, wrong. Straight up. Also not a question, it's just fucking wrong. Because, well, I mean, you have a lot of people, these are, okay, so you'll remember what I'm saying about how conservatism also, there's also a lot to deal with isolationism. So, the people who are, seeing like, oh, we did a good thing, or, the protesters had it coming, and, all, Black Lives Matter, yada, yada, yada. These are people who are not a part of the community in which this happened. They're on the outside looking in and making their own views, and this is the part that gets me, is they are I lost the words already. They are glorifying this kid's supposed Second Amendment rights, even though it's not legal, and they are putting property. They're valuing property over the lives of other people, and these other people just conveniently happen to be people who do not see the same way as they do. So, right there, any view, whenever you come at a situation with that perspective, it's almost impossible to be wrong. Vandalism. I mean, I'm sure there probably was some vandalism. And in fact, they actually, I know before this happened, there was, I think in the same town, their correctional facility was completely burnt to the ground. So yes, there was quite a bit of vandalism. But I mean, that's not what this is. Like he wasn't even fending off anybody who was directly, vandalizing properly. He just got out and, got stuck in some shit. And I guess the point, and you know, on the other side of things, whatever this kid's about to go through, it's not going to be correctional. You know, whoever's looking to punish, you know, because that's the problem with the well, that's really the problem with both sides, right? Because on the right side, you want to, they think that this kid is a hero for quote unquote punishing protesters, which is wrong. And then on the liberal side, they obviously want to just, you know, put this kid in a hole and throw away the key, right? No teachable moments or anything like that. I mean, you can, you know, it's like it's like they say, you can, it's possible to redeem just about anybody, but that's just not what's going to happen here. You know, this kid's screwed, and so are a couple other people. And, well, that's it for now. That's it for that, anyways. And, you know, that's also not the only thing shitty that's happened this weekend. In other news, this happened when I was out, you know, doing my deliveries, and this popped up on my news feed. The Black Panther is gone. Chadwick-Bosman, who he played Marvel's Black. Fuck, my voice is gone as well. But he died. Or he died. No, he passed away. He was apparently he was battling colon cancer for the last 4 years. Like, if I remember, they said. Which, I mean, it's cancer in your colon. It's your ass, basically. So I can't imagine. I'm sure that's got to be, you know, painful in and of itself. And then I don't know if he was doing like I don't think he was doing like chemotherapy or anything like that, because he had his hair, right? So I'm not really sure exactly what he was doing to treat it, but what is really amazing is that he managed to do he did a lot of acting work in those 4 years while he was suffering from this. He was the Black Panther in several movies. First in Civil War, which was the third Captain America, and then in his own movie, the Black Panther, and then later in Infinity War and Endgame, which were the last two Avenger movies that came out. So he did those 4 movies, and then he also did a bunch of other movies as well. Some of which he did 21 Bridges. I think that's what it was called. Where he plays a New York cop. Or, well, that's a very condensed version. I'm paraphrasing horribly. Go ahead and look it up. It was a pretty decent movie. He did that movie on Netflix, The Five Bloods, which I still have to check out. That one's about it's about some veterans of the Vietnam War, and, you know, some things that they go through. I don't know exactly. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to. And then there's another movie that I'm watching right now, actually, where he plays a guy from South Africa who's come to Los Angeles, actually, to find out what happened to his sister. And I'm only like halfway through, and I forgot the name of the movie already, which happens because, like, with Netflix, whenever you pull up the options, it doesn't or whenever you pull up the interface, it doesn't tell you while you're in the movie. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, obviously that's horrible for his family. Like, when anybody dies, it sucks. That's the whole point. Well, that's not the point of dying, but I mean, that is what it is. It just sucks. And really, death shouldn't be, I guess, hoped for. In any case, which, not to swing back to the Kenosha story, but so, fortunately, and he put out a lot of things for us to enjoy, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with Marvel as well, since he's kind of a bit, he played a main character, right? But anyways, so hopefully his family does okay eventually. But and there's even more crazy news. So I was going through Instagram stories, which, by the way, I still haven't gotten any real DMs on my podcast profile, jankity.ass.podcast on Instagram. Nothing yet. I get plenty of fake DMs, which are it's literally just like a string of emojis, which doesn't help anybody. Like I'll have like one person's like an emoji of a fish, and then the next one's a fucking oven, and the next one's like just a dragon, or whatever. It's just single emojis in different messages, and yeah, it's stupid. I just delete all of them, obviously. So I'm still waiting for real DMs. I'm still waiting to see what you think, and if I get DMs, I'll read them out. Whatever it is, even if it's just fuck you. In which case, fuck you too, I guess. But anyways, I was going through Instagram stories, and I saw on one person, I think you remember me telling you it was last week actually, somebody about a celebrity's profile that I was looking at who got red pilled pretty hard. So I was looking through a story, and there's one that came up. It was an article, or well, not an article, but it was like a multi-page post, and it seemed interesting, so I went ahead and checked it out. So it was a doctor in Canada. This was their page, and they had a post praising what I'm about to tell you right now. So there's a town in British Columbia called Parksville. This is about to be the most insane shit. So apparently they passed a common law thing, which I'm not even really sure what common law is, but it's not. It's like a civilians law type of thing, right? They are attempting to outlaw COVID regulations in their town. including ones that would be enforced by the police, even. Now, okay, so I live here in LA, which is one of the more heavily regulated states as far as this whole pandemic thing's going. Now, I will concede that there are some regulations, mainly in regards to business closures, that are quite heavy-handed and don't make sense, because and a lot of businesses that could very easily have the option of just saying like, hey, just make it like just make your store like a limited entry or whatever, or curbside or whatever. But there's a lot of businesses that are just not allowed to open. Our local government is saying, if you open or conduct business at all, you'll get penalized, which, yes, that is bullshit. However, in this case, when they're talking about COVID regulations, they're also talking about social distancing and the wearing of masks, which is something that it is not an issue. There's nothing wrong with having people spread out. I mean, I myself, I don't want to be in a press of people all the time anyway either. And there's nothing wrong with the enforcing wearing of masks. I mean, half the people aren't even fucking whatever anyway. They're just like wearing it on their chin or some shit. But yeah, so in this town in Parksville, they're saying like if you now what I don't like about this bill is law, whatever it is. I don't know if it's anything, because it sets and I actually said this. I left like a bit of a comment, and I think I was just muted or blocked instantly because I never got any responses or anything like that. Which, you know what, if someone wants to have their own narrative and block anybody who says otherwise, can't really be responsible for what happens later. I said my piece, that's all that matters. But what I don't like is this sets a precedent for average people to basically attempt to enforce their own personal views on like somebody's place of business. And it also sets a precedent for the average just civilian or whatever could believe that they actually have the right to attack a place of business and their employees, because of this. Because they're trying to say that enforcing social distancing and masks is illegal, which is just batshit crazy. Because I mean, say what you will about death rates and infection rates and all that stuff. We're still talking about a virus that we don't yet have a vaccine for, and we don't yet have a supposedly there is supposedly like a treatment. It hasn't been like completely vetted yet, and it's easily spreading. So you still have to think about those things. So those are still things, and you're talking about wearing an article of clothing is not illegal. I mean, I can see if maybe it was like offensive or something along those lines, but no. And the other part that's insane about this is that they're also saying that you can basically stand up to the cops about this, which, I mean, what do you expect them to do? Are the police going to arrest themselves? No, that's kind of a problem that we've been having here in the U.S. as well, is because the cops don't fucking arrest themselves. It's not happening. There's no good track record for that. I don't know. It's just some straight up white people bullshit, insanity. I don't know. What and again, I think what, let's see, because I'm willing to bet that Parksville, British Columbia. It is, on the west. British Columbia is on the west part of yeah, man, I'm looking at it right now. It is a small town. Like a small ass town. Like it is literally like 1, 2, 3. It's literally like 13 blocks from the north end to the south end. and then longer the other way. It's kind of it's a coastal town. It's a town. So yeah, these people, they aren't. This is again what I mean by isolation and understanding the personal versus the communal, because these they live in a small community. They are isolated from what is going on in the rest of the world, and especially larger communities. They don't see the actual effects of the virus or whatever. Although I guess, well, I don't know. But the point is I get that they don't have this. They just don't have the same kind of problems. I don't know. You know what? Think what you want about it. Personally, I think that they're just going too far with this, right? That's it. And, well, speaking of going too far, this episode has already gone a lot longer than I thought it was. We're a good half hour in. So, I think I'm not even going to try and do like any other sections this week. I'm just going to leave you with this. So, yeah, thanks for listening to another episode, and I will get back to you guys in either on a couple more weeks or maybe 3 weeks from now. We'll see. Until then, see you later.